Hey, this is Styro, and you're listening to the JMG Live Music Lounge.
Hey, what it do, man? You already know what it is. It's Jacquari, and you're listening to JMG Live Music Lounge.
What's up, Macklemore Ryan Lewis? Hey, this is CC Tennessee. You're listening to JMG Live Music Lounge.
Hey guys, what's up? This is Joe Gotro, and you are listening to JMG Live Music Lounge.
It's your boy DJ Chuck.
Hey, this is Mary Lambert, and you're listening to the JMG Live Music Lounge.
JMG Live Music Lounge. Ready? Let's go.
JMG Live Music Lounge with Jacquari Harris. Hear it first with your favorite music artists and celebs. Interviews and entertainment.
What's up? This is Trick the Host Cat. You're listening to JMG Live Music Lounge.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to the JMG Live Music Lounge. I'm your host, Jacquari Harris, and we're back with our first episode of 2018 with the Grammy-nominated singer and songwriter Miss Mary Lambert. You know, I caught up with Mary before her show at White Oak Music Hall on January the 22nd, and man, it was a great conversation. So get ready for a great episode, and let's go.
JMG Live Music Lounge.
So my music headline for this week is on the Black Panther movie. The movie is coming out on February the 16th, and the world is waiting to see this film. Kendrick Lamar produced the soundtrack, which is called Black Panther, the album. Now, the soundtrack is supposed to have a futuristic hip-hop sound, and the first single is already out, which is called All the Stars, featuring K-Dot. The full album is going to be available this weekend on February the 9th, and I can't wait to hear it.
JMG Live Music Lounge.
Now, many of you may remember Mary Lambert as the singer from the Macklemore and Ryan Lewis hit song Same Love that was released in 2012. I know I do. The song was everywhere, all over radio. You know, the success of that song earned Mary 2 Grammy nominations. She won an MTV Video Music Award, a record deal, and, of course, a growing fan base that has continued to grow over the years. Last year, she released her EP called Bold and kicked off a tour called Everybody is a Babe Tour. So when we met at White Oak, we had a lot to talk about, including how she felt when she got the call to work with Macklemore and Ryan Lewis.
It felt like everything that I'd been working, like I'd been prepared for that moment. Mm-hmm. And I am like a firm believer of like success happens when opportunity meets preparation. And I felt that I had really prepared. You know, I had just gotten my 4-year degree in music composition, and I had really like dedicated myself to, you know, this art form. And then and it was weird because I was doing a lot of spoken word at the time, where I was really exploring the intersectionality of being queer and being a Christian, and how, you know, those two parts of my identity sometimes felt at odds, at least in the communities that I was involved in. And so when the song fell into my lap, I was like, this is my story. Like, how cool is this moment, you know, to be able to share my story. And and it was weird because a couple months prior, I had been asked to write a worship song for my church, and I'd also been asked to write like a protest song for a rally, and I felt so weird about both. I wrote something for each of the things, but I never performed them or released them because they just felt so contrived. Okay. They didn't feel like what I actually wanted to express. And when Same Love fell into my lap, I was like, this is what I've been waiting for. This is the message I want to get across, which is just about love. It's purely about this experience and my identity.
Exactly. And that's the universe, right?
Yeah.
The universe coming full circle.
Totally.
You worked for that moment, and there it was.
Yeah.
And so you performed the song at the Grammys with Madonna. What was that experience like? How was she in person? Was she a diva? Was she really sweet?
She's all of the things. She's somebody that, she's an icon, and she knows she's an icon, but she's also a human being, and she has she has flaws, and she also has great aspects of her personality, and someone that I got to know, and got to know another human being, and making art together with her was really amazing, because we kind of both went into it like not knowing how the performance was going to go. So it was really up to us about how we wanted to do the duet. And so we had about 4 rehearsals to just be like, okay, what feels the best for both of us? And I felt really respected as an artist, which I mean, I wasn't known at all. And for her to offer me that space to say, what if we do this? Could you try doing this? And, sometimes the room would stop. Like, did she just ask Madonna if she could do something? I was like, but it was neat. I felt that she was treating me as an equal. And we don't really talk anymore. But that there was that time in my life where I was just like, this is so surreal. Apparently this is just what happens after a year of bartending. Like, this is just what you do. You sing with Madonna.
And isn't that one of the great things about having a career? You know what I'm saying? You have moments like that to build upon. So you have that experience with Madonna. Who knows what's going to be coming up next for you?
Yeah, totally.
That was wonderful. And so as far as like, I know in 2016 you had your record deal with Capitol, but you parted ways at that point in time. What made you decide to become an independent artist versus being a signed artist?
It was a mutual understanding of the trajectory that I wanted to go, and I think where Capitol was at. Okay. And I presented them with this album I'm currently working on, which is it's dark. It has a lot of spoken word on it. It has a lot of orchestral arrangements on it, and it just didn't seem to line up with what their trajectory was for me. And rather than locking me into a contract and telling me what to do, it was like I felt like the deepest act of kindness and love to be like, we think that there's a better partner out there for you, and we think that would be the best move, and I couldn't have agreed more. And so there was no fighting. It was just like, it was like a handshake, and then this was a really good run. We did something really cool with Secrets, and we did something great with Heart on My Sleeve, but this chapter is done. And I did have a bit of a crisis for about 2 months where I was like, I have to find a new label, like I have to go and do this, and I realized that the partner I was looking for was really the community, and to be able to reach out to the people, to my supporters, of like, is this relevant? What do you want to hear? What do you like? And that's been a reclamation of my artistic identity, and I'm like stumbling along the way, but I'm having a great time. And so I think that was the bottom line for me, was like, if it's not fun, I'm not doing it anymore. It was like so abysmal being on, like, going to Australia or doing these like amazing shows or having these experiences and wanting the plane to go down. And I just thought, what a tragedy that is, like, to feel this way about it. And it's a gift, this occupation. And so I want to be able to appreciate it for the gift that it is. And I feel like I've really been able to do that as an independent artist.
That's wonderful. Yeah, that's great. And and that's one of the great things about being an independent artist, because you can basically call the shots. You definitely have to have capital, you have to have money to put the music out, but hey, you're in charge. You know what I'm saying? And that's a beautiful thing. Totally. Now, just listening to some of your music and kind of going over some of your songs that you put out, you do reveal a lot about yourself. There's a lot of emotion, there's a lot of rawness. What made you decide to be so open about some of your childhood experiences, such as sexual assault and things like that, in your music? Why did you decide to share that?
I don't know that I've ever known any other way to be. I think I, from a really young age, learned the power of vulnerability and the power of telling your truth. And I always assumed that everybody had this same shared experience of, I call it the slumber party, where, I don't know, when I was like 8 or 9, I had a slumber party with all my friends, and instead of like pillow fights or anything like that, we started talking about our trauma. We started talking about difficult things that had happened to us, and I don't know if it was the experience of where the environment that I lived in. I grew up in really a low income area. Like, there's a lot of homelessness, a lot of poverty, a lot of like most of my school was on free lunch or reduced lunch, and I grew up in Section 8 housing, and so for us there was a lot of shared trauma rooted in poverty.
Yeah.
And so talking to other girls like myself that had experienced whether it was a dad leaving or family abuse, we all shared these things about our lives, and we were crying and we were holding each other. At like 8 or 9, this sort of group therapy emerged, and I always assumed everybody had that experience. So for me, the power of vulnerability has always been so evident, and palpable, and like just impactful. And I mean, sure, there have been times where I've been like burned, or it hasn't panned out the way that people can take your words and twist them and take ownership of them. But I would say that the risk of goodness is far outweighed, and I've just seen the power that vulnerability can accomplish.
And that's wonderful, because you had an outlet at such a young age, and a lot of girls don't have that.
Yeah.
A lot of boys don't have that either when they're going through things. So for you to have a group of peers that y'all could cry together, talk about your trauma, I mean that's really, really good, because some people have to hold it in until they're 15 and 16 and 40.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so that's really good. And so with your debut album, Heart on Your Sleeve, that came out in 2014, how have you grown as an artist, in the last 4 years since that album came out?
So much. I think honestly it's been more of a artistic growth of the things I want to communicate to the world, and what my belief systems were. I think at that time I was really subscribing to a pop ideology of the most important thing is to get to mainstream.
Yeah.
And then I can be subversive in my tactics to change the world and heal the world. And I just wanted to be the fat, queer Taylor Swift, and that was my plan. But I think that you have to make concessions, and you have to start cutting off parts of yourself in order to fit that, digestible quality that the executives are looking for, that radio heads are looking for. And I just found that I couldn't make myself that digestible. Even though, I still, Secrets was still, I was talking about being bipolar and being overweight or whatever. And that was still really pushing the envelope for people. And for me, that was that's
natural.
That's a Monday. It was, right. And so it's been a really incredible experience being able to come into my own as a producer and as a curator of sound.
Yeah.
And so that's what I've really been focusing on for the last couple of years, is how can I be present in all aspects of the music, not just in lyrics or performance, but in sound, in reverb and audio and texture of piano. And so I feel like I've been fine-tuning my ear a bit so that I can be present in all aspects of it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you were definitely present in your music video for Know Your Name that came out last year. I thought that was so much fun.
Thank you.
That was a cute video. I like that.
Thank you.
Now, that was one of the singles from your EP, Bold.
Yeah.
Now, you define the EP as queer pop.
Yeah.
Describe queer pop. How do you define it?
I think that, whether it's generated by someone who is queer, it's going to be inherently queer, but I also think the usage of pronouns is an element of queer pop, of being unabashedly yourself. And I think it's just about being authentic. And I wanted to create something that resonated with the queer community and wasn't just a narrative of people be feeling trapped in their bodies, or people feeling trapped in their sexuality and the heartache of being queer, but really the celebration of being queer.
Yeah.
And I know that we've come a long way, and there's a lot more artists creating work like that. But I just wanted to do it my way, do it myself, and have a celebration. Yeah.
So you're kind of almost a trailblazer in a way, because you're one of those LGBT, gay, lesbian artists that are out there, and you're like, okay, this is me, this is who I am, this is my music.
Yeah.
You can either accept it or you don't, but here I am.
Yeah.
And you are speaking for a generation, for an audience. So
Right.
I mean, keep it up. I mean, I
Thank
think you're doing
you.
great. So why did you decide to name it that?
It's actually something I tweeted like 3 or 4 years ago.
Okay.
And I said, I think I just tweeted, everybody is a babe except for mean people. They are not babes.
Yeah.
And that was too long of a tour title. I didn't want to have the whole thing. But I just realized like the power of the word babe. And I think in the femme world, it's just like everybody is a babe. You know, like, and it is sort of that play on, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. But I do feel like there needs to be like a constant affirmation of you are okay, you are valuable, you are worthy, you are beautiful, and to kind of fuck up what beauty means, kind of fuck up what aesthetic means, and everybody is a babe. It's just supposed to be about a night of affirmation, a night of validation, and to be in community with people that are just trying to dance the shame out of themselves and their bodies and their childhoods, and to just have one night where they can just forget about it and cry with each other and hold each other. And for me, it's about facilitating that space.
Yeah. And so what can people expect from you when they come to see you on this tour? I mean, I know you do some spoken word.
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit about, like, if someone is thinking about going to see you, but they're not quite sure.
They should come to the
Convince them. How can you convince them?
The shows are so specially curated. Each city I have asked like the most incredible poets of the world to come and do a calibration on the stage. So there's like a 15-minute poet set that is life-changing. I mean, every time I witness one of these poet sets, I'm rocked.
Yeah.
And then Mal Blum is an incredible artist who's a trans non-binary icon, and who has the most like magnetic stage presence and humor, and is someone who I respect so much, and their art, and so I feel really lucky to have Mal on all of these dates. And then it's me, and I'm doing poems. I'm talking about things that are uncomfortable, but I'm also there's opportunity to dance. There's opportunity to hold hands with the person next to you, and I know there's a lot of people coming out to the shows that are overcoming something to be here, and I am also overcoming something to be here. Being clinically bipolar in a way that I dance on a stage and I put it in a pop song and I'm high functioning, but there are days when it's really difficult to get out of bed, or I wake up and I'm completely wackadoo and I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm here. And so I think that's generally the feeling of these shows is look at how far we've come, look at the fact that we have survived whatever it is that we've survived, and we all get to share this space together. So it's really about a community, like it's about love.
Yeah.
It sounds so sappy when I talk about it, but these shows have been so cathartic, and it's kind of like group therapy.
Yeah.
So, I mean, don't come if you don't want to cry.
Oh, man. Did you bring my tissues? I need tissues. Oh, my gosh, she's going to have me up there crying.
I've been talking to Kleenex. They're still undecided.
That's who you need as your sponsor. There you go. So, the Super Bowl is coming up. Justin Timberlake is going to be performing. He just released his single, was it Filthy, a couple of weeks ago? Are you anticipating his performance? Are you a big JT fan?
I love him. I love him.
Your voice changed when you said that. I love him.
I love him. I think he's so great. I really love the arc of his career as well. And he's somebody that I just in a sort of a business way, like he does such a great job of like, hey, I'm here, I'm doing stuff, and then he's like, I'm done, and he's like, I'm gonna have a family, or like do whatever he needs to do. I think Adele has that similar arc of like being saturated and then kind of being like, I need to grow other parts of my life. And just the Super Bowl's so cool. Like I love football. I'm so excited. I'm excited to see the halftime show.
Well, there's a little bit of buzz because people don't know if Janet Jackson may show up or not.
Oh, wow.
So, and I'm a big Janet fan.
Yeah.
And it would be great if she just snuck her head up or came out and did a full routine. I'll take the full routine. But I've always been a Janet fan. So if she shows up, I'll be in cloud nine.
I wonder if it will be like, you know, when Katy Perry brought out Missy Elliott and everyone's like, wow, that's so kind of Katy Perry to bring this new artist to the stage. Like, no one's ever heard of her. We're like, no, we're getting old. Why don't these people know who Missy Elliott is?
Exactly.
I wonder if it'll be a thing.
It might be because, I mean, the Super Bowl happened what? 2004.
I was like,
so that one happened, 14 years ago, something like that. So hopefully these people are over it. I mean, man. So what do you do for fun and on your downtime?
I used to be a craft cocktail bartender, so I love my hobbies are drinking.
Okay.
But I live near the woods, so I like to go out in the woods a lot.
Okay.
Go hiking. I read a lot.
There's nothing wrong with reading. I mean, you gotta read.
I do poetry as well. So I just signed a publishing deal for my collection of poems that's going to come out in the fall. So I'm kind of doing that. I've been dabbling into fashion a little bit right now. So some
designer or just trying on clothes.
Kind of all of the things. I'm starting to model a little bit more, but I want to start a line. So I've been trying to figure out the avenues to which to do that. So if I do a line, it'll probably not be out for like 3 or 4 years. Okay. Because I know you did something with JCPenney, right? I did, yeah. I've done a couple things. Yeah. I loved the work I did with JCPenney. It was really fun. Okay. And do you have any other music releases coming up anytime soon that we should be looking out for? Yeah, the full-length album I'm hoping to get done by winter of next year. Okay. So in about a year. Okay. And what can we expect once we get it? Is it going to be any special collaborations that you're currently working on? Or? Yeah, I have been talking to a lot of really exciting guest performers. Okay. I can't say. Look at that smile. It looks like it's juicy. It's good. You got some good performers. But it is the saddest album I've ever made, and it is just going to punch you in the gut in the best way. But I mean, it's really, the topics are really heavy. It's really going back to what I feel is urgent and difficult to talk about, and I'm ready to dive into it. Yeah. Are you political at all? Or? Yeah, absolutely. Okay. Yeah, and I have a hard time incorporating politics into my music, and I would rather. And I think it's the same thing as like writing a protest song or writing a worship song. When something becomes so topical like that, it's a hurdle for me to get over. If I could do a collaboration with somebody to where I could find a way that it makes sense for my expression to come out. But I would much rather use my advocacy in terms of, social justice or my political, thoughts in more of a figurehead way of like just as my personhood and as somebody talking about it. You want to use your brand the right way. Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Silence is they speak volumes sometimes. Silence is complicit in a lot of ways, and I hope that I'm never complicit and take any of this laying down. Okay. Yeah. I agree. And so the Grammys are this weekend. Yeah. Are you looking forward to any special performances, or you hope somebody win a certain category? I'm so out of the loop. Okay. I'm so excited just to watch the show. It is like it's the best curated show ever. I love it. I was really fortunate to be on the voting board. I'm on the Grammy board, and so so it's just going to be special and spectacular. Now, how did that happen for you to get on the Grammy board? It's a membership. It's like there's about there's like at least 1,000 people like through chapters all over the country. Okay. And it's it's democratic. It's a democracy.
So you're voted in, or you have to pay dues?
You pay dues and you attend meetings and they have different summits. There's a lot of resources too. Like, it's pretty cool.
I may look into it.
Yeah.
I need to be on the Grammy committee.
Yeah, do it. It is really, really cool.
I need to get my artists on stage.
Yeah.
JMG Live Music Lounge.
Thanks for tuning in to the JMG Live Music Lounge. Be sure to follow me, your host, Jacquari Harris, on Instagram and Twitter.
Visit jmgmags.com to download the latest episodes of the JMG Live Music Lounge podcast. This portion of the show is sponsored by Avant Media Institute.